Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's art stream. Welcome to Wednesday night. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you are celebrating, whether that's by eating copious amounts of corned beef and cabbage, whether you're getting plastered, or if you're just enjoying the Wednesday and enjoying all the green. So, happy St. Patrick's Day, and if you are having a drink out there, I will partake of something non-alcoholic, so slancheva. So tonight, it is another variety night on the art stream front. And we're going to be doing another mix of stuff today, some studio stuff, some graveyard stuff. It's just a nice mix from what we had, because the last time I did an art stream was during the artist back alley, and I had over prepared for that. So we're gonna take a look, do some of the stuff that I didn't actually do during my trip on the raid train. So strap in and let's dive right in. I'm gonna start with an image that I had in the artist back alley promo that I had done, but never actually got to do. It was from one of my last studio shoots a year ago. So we'll immediately begin with that. It is safe for Twitch. Everything's covered. Everything's good. If you're joining me out there this evening, thank you so much. Again, hopefully you're all out there staying healthy, staying safe, not getting plague. It'll be a bad thing. I think 20 is probably going to be good. Yeah. Enough to tone down the skin tone and some of these more saturated colors just a touch. Yeah, not a whole lot of black to add to that, because it's already fairly dark as is. This is one of those images that doesn't need initially a whole lot of work because of what my camera settings were when I took the shot. It's typically how I like to work. The more I get right in the camera before I fire the shutter, the quicker this takes. Some photographers like to shoot first and edit later. I'm the opposite. We got some smooth Mario jazz going here. I like that. I haven't listened to this album in a long time. Good evening, Icarus. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Hopefully you are doing well this lovely evening. The party. I'm here, but I'm also half lurking while I work on some stuff yourself. Not a problem at all. We are We are all artists. We all do the lurkin work, which sounds like some sort of dance, some sort of interpretive dance. Too much gradient. No, actually, I don't think this needs a gradient. Try going into the other corners. No, I don't think this particular one needs it. There's enough black in here. All right. So that said, let's turn down the green a bit and pump up the magenta just a bit. Body a little darker. And just bring the whole thing up. Well, and y'all know what I like to do now. Let's do our usual third edit, our selective color. So for that, let's get in a little closer. Just doing a rough outline of these fabric layers. See, this is partially where a tablet could come in handy. Actually, I don't know why I did that. Start that again. That was... Just realized what I was doing, and I'm like, I'm making this much harder. Yes, I am, Icarus. Always have been. Yeah, I think for what I do, having a tablet like a Wacom, Whack Off, however you pronounce their name. Yeah, it's something that I know that I probably would not wind up using too often. Go. All the way down. I'll have to fix that later, but that's all right. We're just doing a rough capture. And that makes sense for you, Icarus. I mean, I'm sure that I'm sure that when you've used a tablet for so long, it becomes like kind of like a third hand almost. But yeah, for somebody like myself, I would not get regular use out of it. We all know how expensive art equipment is already. Just gonna make now these little additions. Good evening, Tiny Dragon. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate it. Good evening, Rosie and Summer Night. Welcome, welcome. Oh my. This is still Twitch safe. Nothing showing. It's a white O Russian. And if I did what I did correctly. There we go. The big reveal, which is just me hitting a delete button. The big reveal is hitting the delete on the black and white layer. Ta-da! Okay. Now we just see what needs cleaning up. It's a fun way to experiment, especially with color. This is our first image that we are editing tonight. I chose this image first because this was one of the images that I had on my promo when I did the Artist Back Alley train a couple weeks ago, and didn't actually do it. So I'm starting with this one just so I can be like, hey, I teased that image. Let's actually work on it. There's my eraser. There it is. Whoopsie. Flip back to black. I don't like the changes that Twitch made to auto mod. I'm gonna have to. Have to keep forgetting to make that permanent. So Twitch made some changes to the auto mod. So now you see where it says yo ho in my hydrate reminder. It flags ho as offensive, and I have to actually click allow. So. Oh yes, before I forget, a tiny brief bit of commerce while I have you all here. So my Patreon just turned 2 years old, and while I have a small group of patrons, they are very loyal, and I thank every single one of them for giving me money every month. So to celebrate the 2 year anniversary and to thank all of my patrons, regardless of what level they subscribe at, every single patron that every current existing patron and anyone who becomes a patron until the end of this month will get some stickers featuring some of my images. The first sheet are stickers of some of my headstone images various New England headstones. And the second sheet we have some faces from some of my cosplay shoots. We have McKenna on the top two, Danielle down on the bottom two. So every existing patron will get will get a sheet of each in April, and any new patrons that subscribe between now and the end of this month will get them. And the link is in the chat there, but if you want the link, you type in !Patreon, and the link is also in the down below on Twitch as well. So it's all there. And again, thank you so much for throwing money at me. I do appreciate it. It's not anything. It's not stuff to live off of, but that's a few rolls of film each month. And it's chemistry sometimes. So. All right, now I've given you that brief bit of commerce. Back to the fun here. That brief bit of capitalism and shameless self-promotion. Yes, Dead Things stickers. I'll be working on some Dead Things tonight. Some Dead Things that I haven't looked at in 6.5 years, actually. And don't worry, you know me, there's going to be a story behind those images. Yeah, I figure I might as well jump on the sticker train because that seems to be very popular currently. Like, if you are a subscriber on my Patreon at $5 or higher, you get a 4x6 print every 2 months. A print of my choosing. If you are at the $10 or level, $10 or higher, that 4x6 becomes a 5x7. And if you go higher than that, that goes to 8x10. But I'm thinking about possibly lowering the threshold because right now I have just one $5 patron and one $10 patron, and so that means I'm only sending out 2 prints every couple of months. So I may revise the threshold. And I think we are getting just about done here with this first image. But that's just something I am presently pondering. I know money is currently tight for a lot of people, so definitely do not feel like you have to subscribe. There are plenty of other ways to get my images on stuff, like my Redbubble shop. And I believe, if I know my geography correctly, a certain someone in this chat just threw some cash at me for some cemetery images. I saw that email in my Redbubble. I saw that email in my Gmail, so thank you very much, kind, benevolent soul who dropped some cash. More cards for the card horde. Again, thank you. Thank you for throwing money at me. I have no shame. I will gladly take your money. It's like that song from Avenue Q. It's "Give me your money, all that you've got. Give me your money, or some puppets will get shot." And I'm so happy that I can return the favor. Oh, you were having some issues, Icarus, with the mail. Yes, Icarus just started their Patreon. That just went live. So, Icarus, if you want to post your Patreon link in the chat as well. And you know what? Tiny Dragon is here as well. So, I mean, just at the art shilling everybody. So, throw your links in there. Spread the love around. All right, so we've got a finished selective color. Good. There it is. Ah, okay. Well, good. I'm glad USPS didn't eat them or anything. So, all right. So there we are. Lovely. All right. Next image up for bids. Up for bids. Where are you? So I just mentioned. Let's go with these two next. Let's go with this one. So this image and this image were both taken October 2015 in northern Massachusetts, like practically skirting the Massachusetts-New Hampshire border. So one particular long weekend, I think it was October 2015, so it was probably Columbus Day weekend. We decided to go into this little sort of remote section of Massachusetts, where my lovely wife was doing some research and genealogy stuff. A good chunk of her ancestors are in northern Massachusetts, straddling the Massachusetts-New Hampshire border. So for this particular long weekend, we went to a couple of towns. We went to Billerica, Massachusetts, and we went to Dunstable, Massachusetts, because that's where a considerable number of Frenches were. And April had a lot of distant relatives buried in this part of New England. So I took a picture. There were two headstones that really, really jumped out at me. This first one, because for obvious reasons, because you can very clearly see that you have text written in proper orientation, but the angel blowing the words out of the trumpet are written backwards, which is still something I've only seen on this headstone. I've never seen any other headstone where the carver deliberately wrote that backwards. It says, "Arise ye dead." But let me just give you a sense of scale here. Let me go to the folder where all of these images lie. Hold on. Da-de-da. Where are you? So let me see. I'm gonna give you a fuller view of the headstone. So that's the close-up. This is what it looks like next to it. So this particular headstone with the backwards text. It's in memory of Mrs. Margaret Cummings, consort to Henry Cummings. Oh, okay. Okay. That's my head. Pick a direction. The off-screen wife makes an appearance with her "I love my monster boyfriend" shirt.
Consort. Hi, Ray.
I am waving. So yes, in memory of Mrs. Margaret Cummings, consort to the Reverend Henry Cummings, who expired in the faith of Christ, June 2nd, 1790, in the 54th year of her age. And the little inscription on the bottom says that this corruptible muff put on...
Don't talk about corruptible muffs.
It says, hey... I know that's supposed to be an S, but it's like...
Congress.
It's like, yeah, Congress. Who expired in the face of Christ. Good Christ. Good evening. Am I the first of the WW Discord to show up? This evening you are. Good evening, Ursa Crafter. Once or twice, Printmaker has shown up, but I think you are the first representative to make themselves known in the chat. Look, the long S is... yeah. So back to the... expired makes it sound like she was a tuna salad that had to be tossed out. I'm sorry, you expired. All right.
I have dishes to do.
Yes.
Some of us do chores.
I art.
When do I get to art?
I have to show you how to do that.
Yes, you do.
So to this image we go. This was taken in the Old South Burying Ground in Billerica, Massachusetts. So let's, first things first. Let's straighten this out a bit. Let's get a nice level line in there. Very close. Yeah, that's pretty close, actually. There we go. But yes, welcome on in, Ursa. Make yourself comfortable. The water's fine. Yes, good old town names. Billerica and Dunstable. Because that's where a lot of April's ancestors are buried. I mean, she can trace herself back to the Mayflower. I know you're not proud of that. You're sharing when you stream in the Discord. Yes! I mean, you get that anywhere, Tiny Dragon. You get that, I mean, New York's got a bunch of them as well. This is obviously going to be black and white, but I want to get my set my black and my white point early. Like, New York has a town that's named, that it looks like it's supposed to be pronounced Coxsackie, but it's pronounced Cooksackie, and I'm just going, yeah, sure. That's like the whole Uranus thing. They both sound filthy. Like, and there's another town in New York that looks like it's spelled, it's supposed to be pronounced Cairo, like the African country, Cairo, but it's pronounced Caro, and I'm just like I have that Kermit the Frog scrunched look, like. And is it pronounced as it's spelled, Rosie? Inquiring minds want to know. And by inquiring minds, I mean me. It is. It's a type of corn syrup, Icarus. Oh, you mean Caro, not dildo. Good evening, Winged! I live near a town named Gotham, but they pronounce it Gotham. Gotham. I mean, think of the marketing possibilities. Oh, no. Wrong layer. There we go. Wrong layer order. Now that's the correct layer order. Wrong layer, Kronk!
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
Conception Bay and My brain went Conception Bay, Tickle Me Harbor, and Exploits. Ha! That's a phrase. And there we are. So that's it for that one. So yeah, I'm actually kind of curious if the text reads. Hold on, I'm curious. Where are you? Oh. Pfft. Ah, okay. So yes. Good to know. Good to know. So yes. So this one will probably hit the red bubble. And for these particular cemeteries, since I was actually there with my wife, not to... I was there to basically document what she found on her genealogy trip. So I did not shoot film for this particular round. And so we got this next one, which, look at it. Look at it! Freaking Puritans were just off the rails with their gravestones. Like, once you start getting into 19th century, just like we become so boring. like, we become so goddamn boring in our burials. Like, okay, I have to show you this, because this headstone... Where are we? Okay, this is in Dunstable, Massachusetts. This is a cemetery that was established in 1754. It's called the Meeting House Hill Cemetery. And you want to get a sense of how badass the Puritans were in death? Let me give you this image for scale. Where the hell are you? Look at that. Look at that. That is not a joke. Some of these headstones are as tall as my wife. Puritans were not fucking around, especially if you had money. Like, you see, like, this top part is, you know, of the person who you know, is buried there. And then you have, like, poetry and Bible verse and... Yeah. So, Orifugit, translated, means my wife just looked this up last night, but you can't take it with you, but you can damn well show it off that you had it, I guess. Because Fugit, if it was reversed, Fugit Hora, it's remember that you will die. But it can also mean that, no, that's Memento Mori, remember that you will die. Or Fugit is time flies. That's what that means, time flies. Right? You can't take it with you, but you can one damn well show off that you had it, I guess. As Max Bialystock would say, if you got it, flaunt it, flaunt it! And again, thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I am very glad you guys are all here enjoying some photography, some music, and some company. Very, very much appreciated. So thank you so much. I'm very glad that you're here on this wonderful Wednesday evening, St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. If you observe or celebrate it or just use it as an excuse to get shit-faced, whatever you like. Whatever you like. I do not judge. I need to crop that a bit more. Getting close. There we go. Now we can clear that. The music tonight is from another video game remix album. It's called Harmony of Heroes. And it is a remix album of music from Super Smash Bros. I'm actually curious now because I did take a shot of that full headstone. So the full headstone looks like this. Here lies the remains of Mr. John Moore, who departed this life the 21st day of August, Anno Domini 1765, in the 59th year of his age. And what does it say on the bottom? The fin of Adam has laid me low. For Finn, I know it's S, I'm just being silly. For Finn hath wrought an overthrow. From duft I came, to duft I'm come, and now the duft become my home. When Christ comes down with saints to reign, then dust me no more shall detain. This is the first year in ages I haven't had to, field, getting ready for St. Patrick's Day questions in regards to my hair, and that's only because I haven't been out around people in retail environments. Yeah, fair. I'm finding out the hard way that many of us frontline healthcare workers are getting burned out. In my case, it's because I'm probably taking on too much overtime at work, mostly because of staffing problems in my department. I love working in a lab setting, but it's going to be a bit much. As ashes to ashes, duft to duft. Yeah. God, those long S's. And now we have a smooth jazz version of the Luigi's Mansion theme. One year ago today was when I started working from home. That was when the pandemic really hit my job, and I have been working from home ever since. It has been a very long year. Going to lurk, have to make supper? No problem, Ursa. Thank you for stopping by and enjoy the lurk. Enjoy your FUD. Mario. I love how extra these things are. I'm just, Ugh. Let's close you. And now for something completely different. We're gonna go from October 25 to November 2018 to my first and only trip so far to Niagara Falls. Told you it was a variety night. That was a fun trip. And I'll just say this right now. Niagara Falls Ontario is so much nicer and cooler and fun than Niagara Falls, New York. Just gonna get that right out of the way. Sorry, New York, but Canada's got you beat. So these two images that I'm going to be working on, these are a bit so these are actually not from Niagara Falls. This is a little bit further down. This is from the Niagara Whirlpool, which is again a little bit further down, a couple miles further down. I mean, you can see we've got a sky trail there, sky tram. There, because this area here, this is on the U.S. side. That's Murica over there. So before we get to that one, let's go to this one. Ha! Yeah, I expected that. That curves meter is it's fucking nuts. No, we're not going to make it black and white yet, but we are going to. So thank you, Icarus. I was just... When this was a trip here between April, Rosie, and me, and I was just so utterly fascinated by what the water was doing in this natural whirlpool that I'm just like, oh, that's pretty. Like, even now, I see that and I want to pet it. You know, before I get sucked down under the water. It looks so soft, and it will murder you. Yes. That was a fun day, though. That was a great weekend. I was attempting to make a habit, and once the border reopens, I will continue to make this a habit. Apparently, I have this. I was developing a habit of fleeing the country around Veterans Day and going across the border because something about the pseudo patriotism that we pull out for our national holidays just really irked me, and it looks so soft and like Tiny Dragon, yes. I mean, I can't speak from experience. I've never pet Tiny Dragon, so I don't know. Clearly, I'm still alive. Maybe that's for the best, but come for Columbus Day too. Yeah. Again, if the border ever... Yes, that's... Can't stay closed forever. Add a little contrast to that. Make that froth pop a bit. Now, just for shits. Just for shits. We could just make that into a rave party. Whatever color you want. Looks like glass in some places. You mean the complete hypocrisy of having a holiday honoring veterans in a country where most of our veterans are disabled and or suffering from extreme PTSD and other mental conditions, unhoused and jobless, and having to beg for sustenance and shelter? Can't imagine why that would be unsettling. I mean, really. I mean, clearly. I mean, no, surely not. It's because we don't have enough people waving flags. And, you know, it's like it has. It's like in the last like 5 or 6 years, it's just like what we do around our national holidays. I just feel very, very disillusioned. Like, oh, great, we're gonna take the patriotism out of mothballs and then put it back again while doing nothing to fix the issues. But I would scream out into a pillow of frustration, but I'm so damn tired. And yeah, we all are. All right, Max Black. Now when we take the color away, now it's all texture. All texture. And if I turn the green all the way down, that's what we're left with. But I do want to see some of that churn in there. I do want to see some action in the shadow areas. You don't want to take all those away. Those are your good friends. You need the shadow areas to bring out the highlights. And that's true whether you're painting, drawing, printmaking, taking pictures. All right. Now this one. What I think I want to do here is definitely make it darker. That's already a million% better. I definitely overexposed that. Not by too much, though. I'm curious what would happen if I lose most of the sky. I almost like that better, actually. All that. Get rid of you. I see big bodies of water like this, and I suddenly got Selkies on the brain again. Selkies of the Niagara River. I mean, Tiny Dragon, I mean, you could maybe draw yourself, Icarus, and Rosie as Selkies. I mean... Thinking of Selkies nonstop for over a week now. This is my life now. You're welcome. Yeah, definitely tone down the saturation a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more, actually. There's a lot of green in here. Yeah, that looks a bit more natural now. This couldn't have been November now that I'm thinking about it. Now I gotta see when I shot those. Niagara Falls. Where's that Niagara folder? Yeah, I got my date mixed up. That was not November. That was May 2017. My fault. I'm like, wait a minute. Those trees are way too green for November. May 2017. I was getting my Canada trips confused. That's right, because this was during another U.S. patriotic holiday. This was Memorial Day weekend. I remember now. I remember now. I keep this up, I'm going to start fleeing the country around July 4th. Just can't just miss them all. What am I doing to this one? This one, oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, duh, there's no reds in here, Brian. Blacks. Too much, too much, too much. Maybe 3%. I actually think this would look much, much better in black and white. I think there's too many similar values. Ah, there we are. It is. It's like I kind of feel at home. Like, ah. Probably around deltas, I'm not sure. I also wish to escape to a country with free national health care. Ooh, we can liven some of those highlights up a bit. Oh! That's... Woo, woo, woo. Fun with sliders! It's better. Tone the greens most of the way down. Let's bump up the yellows a little bit more. That's looking much better. Yes, thank you out there. Those of you sitting in the chat watching me this evening. Thank you so much. I'm E. Roivas, but I also go professionally as Brian J. French. I am a professional photographer. I do a whole lot of stuff. Film, studio, cosplay, nude. Although the nude stuff I can't show on here. But if you are interested in what I do, then let me just take you very quickly over to my art page. And this is my link site. It's got all the different places where you can check me out. Website, Instagram, Twitch, which you're presently watching, Twitter, email, Patreon, Ko-Fi, my Redbubble shop, my Picardo. That's where I stream not safe for work stuff, and Vero, where I post a lot of my not safe for work images, as well as Patreon. So it is all there. All you have to do is type in !art. I know it might occasionally pop up in the chat. And thank you so much for stopping on by. I do appreciate your company. Thank you, Icarus. All right. Nice little scenic. Okay. So let's move on. Let's go. We've done some death. We've got an hour to go, so let's go back into the studio to the other promo image I had on for tonight. Let's go back to McKenna. From 2018. Nope, I actually think my white's pretty good. There's already a lot of black on that image. You got some very, very stark lighting. Some very, very stark lighting as it is. I think we're going to tone down some of that red. Not too much. Don't want to lose it. Don't want to lose it entirely, but it is very, very saturated. So, let's see how this might work. Oh, I think it might work rather well. Too much. Nope, 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 nope. Actually, I think I want to leave that corner open. Yeah, I want to leave that corner open. No. I'm not going straight up. Yeah. Oh god, it's the Donkey Kong rap. Yeah, no. I hate to disappoint you, but no. Okay, what do I do next? Where's my selective color? Little there. Okay, back up and save you for now. Do 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 do. I know I mentioned this to some of you, but in about a little less than 3 weeks' time now, both my wife and I are going to go get our first of the vaccines, the first shot of the vaccines, which I am very, very much looking forward to. Because I miss you guys. I miss hanging out with people, friends, loved ones. Alright. And for our next trick... Nope. Moving right along. Probably one of my favorite things to do whenever I am editing a cosplay shoot. Like, McKenna has had a habit of cosplaying as various vampire creatures. So I get to have fun with the eyes. Up you get. But again, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Hope you are having a good time. Oh, I'm like, I know this piece. It's a remix of Dragon Roost Island from Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Like, oh, that's right. That's a game I haven't played in centuries. All right, my dog is currently scratching the door for this evening, so I need to take off for a bit. All right, well, I'll still be here for another 50 minutes or so, I will, if you come back, great. If not, I will talk to you later. Love you much. Someday Aries will act his age. That is not tonight. Okay, let's lower you. I don't need that big of an eraser. When he's dead, he will. Well, such is the life of a beagle. Although because of the flute. Because of the flute solo in the back, I can't, I'm like, my brain is going, is that Jethro Tull playing this? It's not enough mandolin. Ooh! Oh, I like that. I like that a ton. Ha! Oh, that came out wonderful. So given that this is what we started, given that that's what we started with, we've gone from this to that. That's an improvement. It's a little quiet out there in the chat, so what's y'all up to this evening? Besides spending some of your evening with me. Like that, just as it is. BW1. Very nice. Very nice. Working on this big TMA piece, I got seized by an idea involving some lyrics I love, and so I've been trying to get it done before I lose the motivation. Whoops. Alright, we still have plenty of time left. So... one more of McKenna, I think. There's a lot there already. Just that. Yeah, that's better. And actually, curves should go down here. Alright, fun with gradients time. Yoink. I think we can go a little bit more. Yep. That, no, I think I'm losing too much. Undo. It's that top, yeah, it's that top one. This one isn't going to need a whole lot of stuff. I don't think. Actually, I don't think that one needs any selective color. I think that's pretty fine as it is. There's no eyes for me to work with. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty quick one. Which isn't bad. Sometimes you want those. Alrighty. Moving right alongo. Well, let's keep the theme going while we're on, you know, vampires and death and goodly goodness. Back to Bill Ricca we go, because I just love this one. Broken headstone next to a tree. You find a lot of those in New England. What's the headstone on you? That's a bit more recent. That's 1815. 1813. My mistake. So let's move you over just a bit. Although this soundtrack is gonna start putting me to sleep, so I think we're going to change it up just a drop. It's like, no, I'm not ready to go to bed yet. Let's switch remix albums. It's an interesting curves layer. It's gonna be so much. I think we're good on the curves. Definitely need to turn down the saturate. Definitely. There's a lot of yellow there. There's a ton of yellow there. Whew. They definitely need to be more paler. Or we can go extreme yellow. They definitely need to make those yellow leaves paler. Yes. Very yellow. It's a little too pale. I want to get some life back in them. Not too much. There we go. That's better. Heckin' heck, my page errored out. Bah. Well, 40 lashes with a wet noodle there. Actually, I don't know if you need selective color yet more so than brightest contrast. I think the contrast does a better job. Too much, too much. Maybe I can tone down that yellow just a touch more. There we go. Yes, yes, good, good. Yeah. Yep, I'm liking that. Such autumn, very death. Wow. It's a red adjustment. What about a yellow adjustment? Maybe. Actually, if we do that and do that... that brings that into more fun. Ha 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 ha. So if we do that... I think we may be able to lighten that area. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, indeed. I don't want burn, I want dodge. There we are. We are starting to get that light. Yes, good. There we go. I talk to myself. It's a thing. I think that's lightened pretty significantly. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Why does this particular remix have Vincent Price laughing in it? I'm not complaining. I mean, we can always use some more Vincent Price, but in a remix of a Metroid theme of Mother Brain, Vincent Price seems a little weird. Alright. Again, not that I mind. I do love me some good Vincent Price. So far, so good. Alright. We are blowing through these. I keep this up, I'm going to be running out of stuff to edit for you tonight. We're not done yet. Okay. Let's go back to another of our body stuff. Again, another safe one. It's all the appropriate bits are covered. I go from the black and white to this back to screaming blue and pink, and I'm just like, oh, my eyes! Such screaming, very pink. Oh yeah, definitely. Turn you down. Yeah. Oh, hi, Monkey Island. And we are going to tone down that blue just a bit. Yeah, that's better. That is considerably better. All right. All right. No, that won't do. Yes, if you are joining me this evening, thank you so much for stopping by on this photography art stream. It is a variety night. I have just been bouncing all over the place, from studio images to cemetery shots to water. It has been a fun, fun night. If you like what I do and want to check out more of my work, !art will take you to my card page, and there you have all the links to my Instagram and Patreon, Redbubble, all that fun stuff. So, just a wee bit of commerce for you tonight. Hope you're enjoying your St. Patrick's Day. Whether you are stuffing your face to the gills with all the corned beef and cabbage you could possibly muster and all the beer you can guzzle, or if you're just taking it easy tonight. Thank you, Icarus. You should go up here. That's why we come off. And with that, I'm going to go grab another drink and switch gears to Lena's stream. It's been delightful. I love watching you work. Thank you for stopping by, my dear Icarus. I will catch you over there in a bit. So we'll bring the raid party over with whoever's left. So, I'll see you there. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. What I typically do next. What are you doing? You know what? Let's make the black really dark so that it's not confused by what to select. Thank you. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Why are you doing that? Is there too much contrast? Is there too little contrast, I should say? There we go. Wasn't contrasty enough. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Beautiful. Oh, what is Chrome doing to you? It keeps messing up my pages. Well, admittedly, I finally got tired of Chrome and I jumped to Firefox now as my primary. Because Chrome can be just an outright bastard for things. I also got sick of Chrome just being a god ginormous resource hog. Well, it's like Chrome has become so bloated with how much information that they collect on you. And it just, to the point of where it adversely impacts, the proper running of Google Chrome. So just like, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Enough of this. Okay. I think we are just about done with this one. Oop. There's a little spot I missed. There we are. All right. Whoops, didn't want that window. I wanted that window. Let's see. I am... Let's go back to some cemeteries. Let's go back to a couple from the last roll of film I shot right at the end of January. Back in one of our local cemeteries, Greenridge Cemetery in Saratoga Springs. As Variety Night continues. I mean, also at this point, Tiny Dragon basically, I mean, the internet at large is evil, so it's like pick your poison, really. What am I running over? A lot of sky in this one, which I think I can bring down. Taking in the waning afternoon sun. I'm standing on top of a small hill here, just looking out over all I survey. And now comes the fun part. Dust and scratches. Because when you scan black and white film, that is a thing. Oops. It would also help if I was on the right layer. I didn't turn on the AC the other day because you said it was too hot. It's March. Well, I mean, I do like a nice chilly igloo. It's like, I can't really find fault with that. Like, I'm the type of person where I'll open my windows when there's a blizzard going on. Like, it got up to the mid-60s here a week or so ago for, like, a day. And I was ready to break out the shorts and sandals. Ooh, no. I'm used to being in an under-insulated house having to be 60-ish degrees inside. What even is the South's weather? That's, yeah. I mean, there's only one solution to that problem, Tiny Dragon. That's come back up north. He says, mildly innocently. Oh, no, 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 no. Ha! Yeah, you know. I know, I know, I know. You are there for reasons. For all I know, someday, once I've had my vaccine, yes. For all I know, you may be enjoying it down there far better than you ever did in New Hampshire. I don't know. You might be like, it's too fucking cold in New Hampshire, so... Well, I do enjoy being far away from my family. I do enjoy... Okay. Definitely with you on the first half of that sentence. That's gonna be cloned out. Alright. I think we're just about done on this one. I do not see any other glaringly obvious dust and scratches. Nope, that's snow. That's not a scratch. My dear friends, yes. I love you too, Tiny Dragon. I do look forward to the day that we can actually meet in person for the first time. As I think that would be just so much fun. If you ever return to New Hampshire, you'll have for a visit, you'll have to stop by my neck of New York. Okay, so that wraps up that one. And I have time for one more before we say good night, farewell, Gesundheit, auf Wiedersehen, and all that jazz. So the last one we will do tonight is this interesting stone. We can picnic in a graveyard with Lena and we can poison some pigeons in the park. That would be kind of fun, though, having us four, like in some Puritan cemetery somewhere in New England. That would just be absolutely fun. All right. this last one we are going to work on tonight. Oh, that's already a trillion% better. I'm still kind of floored. Like, the last time I went to Portsmouth back in October, last October, and I happened to find that one cemetery, Pine Grove, in Hampton, New Hampshire, that was from 1650 something. I was just like, right on the side of the road, just like, hey, here you go. Here's a 400-year-old cemetery right here. All right. Okay, we've got onto our... yeah, you do. And some of them are right on the main drag, on like a main road or a main route. And others are a little trickier to get to. And sometimes it's actually those that are the most fun. Like the ones that are off the side of the road and you have to take like a little path to get to them. But then when you find them, they're still very well kept. Like, Slate holds up very well after 300 years. Who knew? I don't think I need selective color. Just clean up some dust and scratches on you, and we will call you... we'll call you done. This hand one had quite a bit of them, to be perfectly honest, so I might... yeah. I think this just might be something for the clone tool to have fun with. Our digital equivalent of stipple. Oh yeah, New Hampshire's live our graveyards. One had a townie in the place, and I grew up and almost get arrested for defending a little grave that was near a construction site. I think they were repaving the sidewalk, and she was aggressively making sure they didn't harm the graveyard. On the one hand, I think that's really cool, though, because I get the sense that, you know, in New England, particularly, they really like to preserve the history for obvious reasons. It's not like New York, where it's like, yeah, we'll just pave over it. Although, admittedly, when something I really want to do when we're done with the plague, most of New York State's oldest cemeteries are not in this part of the state. They are much closer downstate to New York City for very obvious reasons. If you have even a modicum of knowledge about British and Dutch settlements in New York in the 16 and 1700s, you know, most of the state's oldest cemeteries are going to be Rockland, Westchester, Ulster counties. It would be cool if I didn't know that she was a complete ass and was probably harassing the workers. Like up here in the Albany, Saratoga, Troy area, you have a lot the older cemeteries, that you have a lot more like very small plots, very small family plots in this part of New York State, and not your oldest ones are typically going to be like mid 19th century, with some exceptions, of course. Like this one here, the oldest one is 1796, but that is the only 18th century headstone in this entire place. All right. So that's gonna just about do it for this evening. So let's do what we like to do. I want to go to that garden cemetery in Albany, the Albany Rural Cemetery, which is huge. It is massive. There's like 20-something thousand people buried in there, and a lot of crypts because there's a lot of dead Albany politicians in there. So we're just about at the end of tonight's stream, but as always, I like to do a recap of the evening's work. So let's do. So yes, this is some of the leftovers from the over-preparedness I had done for the raid train. So we started with that. We started with a slice of my wife there. Then we bounced around a bit. We have some of Rosie here. We did a couple of McKenna there. Another one of McKenna, just having a little snack. And then we did these. We did these. These two are from Greenridge Cemetery, from the last roll of film I shot. What else did we do? We had some more fun. We did the two from Billerica and Dunstable. They came out very nice, Rosie. Thank you much. So we did these two from Billerica and Dunstable with the backwards Tudor here and Aura Fugit. Another one from Dunstable. And we did some from Niagara Falls. So not a bad night's work overall. And so yeah, I'm so glad that you guys could make it and enjoy this evening's stream. My next stream is going to be this Friday night at 7:30 p.m. as I continue my celebration of the 25th anniversary of the Resident Evil franchise, one of my favorite franchises. We wrapped up Resident Evil 1 this past Monday, so on Friday, back to the PS1 we go as we start with Resident Evil 2. That'll be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And finally, as I did at the start of tonight's stream, my Patreon has turned 2 years old, so I'm doing a special promotion. All my current patrons and anyone who subscribes to my Patreon until the end of the month will get a couple of sticker sheets from that had images, my images on it. The first sheet, some death's heads for you. The second sheet, some cosplay stuff. Again, all current all existing patrons and any new ones who subscribe at any level. All you have to do is to become a patron is the link is below, but if you type in !Patreon, it'll fire the link, and yeah, they'll start going out around mid-April. And again, thank you so much for stopping by. So I'm glad you got to hang out with me tonight, and hopefully I will see you Friday. But if not, I will probably be doing an art stream next week, but that will be over on Picardo. So that'll be some not safe for work stuff. So if you click that card link, it'll take you to my Picardo stream. So we'll get some not safe for work stuff next week. It's been a few weeks since I've done one, so I need to pay Picardo some love. So we are going to jump on a little bit of a raid. We're going to head over to Lena the Oddity. So I am going to kill the music here. And I am going to say what I always say. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Wear a fucking mask, for the love of God. COVID is still a risk. I don't want to hear about you getting sick because of your own stupidity. Get the vaccine if you're able. I will be getting it in a few weeks. So, again, thank you all so much for spending your evening with me. And I'll see you Friday night for Resident Evil. And if not, I'll see you next week on Picardo for my Not Safe for Work art stream. Love you guys. Have a good night. Take you over to Lena.